In January, I did something that I've never done before in trading, and that was having a perfect month. My name is Zach. I'm an exclusive analyst in the Stock Dads Discord, and that is where I post all of my analysis and signals for anything stock, option, and futures related. In this video, I'm going to give you guys a full account breakdown and show you exactly how I had a flawless month with 0 red days and making over $30,000 profit. Before going any further, a couple little details. First is that I traded on the Tradeify platform. This is a straight to funded futures firm, meaning there's no evaluation process. All you have to do is pay a one-time fee and you can open a funded account from the start. For this particular overview, I'm going to be showing you guys 2 different accounts I use. I do have multiple accounts, but for this example, I'll be breaking down 1 or 2. Before I start breaking down the perfect month and giving you guys some tips and tricks that you guys can implement as well, I want to let you guys know that there's a promotion going on right now, or if you guys use code STOCKDADS, I'll put it on the screen. You guys can get a 30% off discount to any of the Tradeify accounts. I personally prefer the 50K straight to funded account. In my opinion, it's the best bang for your buck, and it's a super easy start to get a payout. So now hopping into the numbers, guys. So this account right here is just one of the many accounts that I do have with Tradeify. And as you can see right here from the start of the year, this account is up $18,300. For me personally, I'm not someone that likes to trade with really large and high risk to reward. I'm personally someone that favors high probability over high risk to reward. As you can see, my average win-loss trade is actually not that different. I don't have these humongous, winners and losers. Everything for me is pretty standard. As you can see, my average winner is about $276 and my average loser is about $220. The key for me is that I have a very high win percentage based on what I deem as an A+ or high probability setup. And so far for the first month and change of the year, it's at 76%. Because of that, you can see that my profit factor is about 4. And currently I have a 9 trade win streak, which is pretty cool. What I'm most proud of is something that I've never done before, and that is I had a perfect January. As you guys can see right here, 17 days of pure green. I didn't do really much trading the first week of the new year because it was kind of awkward. We had off on Wednesday and then we had a 2-day week. So I decided to start fresh and I opened this account Wednesday the following week. And as you can see, out of the 18 possible days, 1 being an off day, I did trade the other 17 and for a perfect green $15,000 month. I'm only going to be breaking down this first month in January, but if we do dip into February, as you guys can see, I'm still green. So right here, as I mentioned, we have 23 straight green days to start the year, and I'm about to hop into and show you guys exactly how I did that. A few of the things I'm going to mention are definitely technically driven, but the rest of them are mental and maybe just a little tweak in your procedures. So first thing, as you guys can see, I'm not someone that takes a lot of trades. Over trading and spamming trades, in my opinion, is something that is very, very detrimental to newer traders because, in my opinion, over trading is a cause of one of 2 things. Number 1, you don't have conviction in your trades, meaning you just need to fire away trades until one hits. Number 2 is that you're potentially revenge trading too much, trying to make back the losers, and you're really not getting any ground. Or lastly, you could be continually getting stop hunted, which is most people's issues. And so for me, I'll show you guys in the last example on how to fix that. So if we break down this first month, as you guys can see, a lot of the times I'm not taking very many trades. 2, 2, 2, 4, 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, right? As you can see here, there are a couple days that have more trades, at least for normal, than 9, 14, 9, 7. And so for those days, more than likely, those are days that I'm trading micros. Going into the day, any day that I think could be tricky or maybe an inside choppy day, I'd like to go and shift down to micros and take more trades and scalp and get what I can. I still do have a higher level of conviction. Only thing is I'm either not holding for as long or I'm just slightly sizing down. This is not due to any type of confidence or lack of confidence in the setup. This is simply just due to knowing the market conditions and maybe trying to play a little bit safer. And going hand in hand with not over trading is planning your trades. It is super important to plan your trades. Every single day in the Stock Dads Discord, I write my daily plan showing exactly how I'm approaching the day on the higher time frames, what levels I'm looking for, what moving averages I'm looking for, and how I'm looking to play the day. By being a proactive trader and not a reactive trader, you already have a good game plan of where you want to actually take trades in the day. And now that's all that's left to do is just see how the price action goes according to your plan. So finishing up this thought, do not overtrade, plan your trades, and show patience. And now segueing to number 2, talking about sticking to your plan and having a daily plan. As you guys can see, I have a 76% win rate. Let's call it 75%. And that means out of every 4 trades I take, one of them is almost guaranteed to be a loser. But the reality of trading is This doesn't always happen where you take 3 trades in a row that are green and 1 loser. Losers can come in bunches and the winners can also come in bunches. So you have to understand, just because you lose 1, 2, or maybe multiple trades in a row, it does not mean your strategy or plan is flawed, just how trading works. Trading is not going to be up all the time similar to the market. We're going to have pullbacks in the market and we're going to have pullbacks in our account. We have to normalize losing and understand that losers are nothing more than a business expense. When I fixed my mental to realize that losers are simply a business expense and not an actual shot at me or my strategy or my thinking, it helped me overcome these losers and have a short memory to proceed to the next trade. As you can see here on my stats, there was a point where I did have 3 losing trades in a row. But despite 3 losing trades in a row, between my sizing and perseverance and rules, I was able to continually have these green days. And one of the biggest tweaks that I made is still coming, guys, but make sure you stick to the end because you're not going to want to miss it. Now, number 3 is the biggest change that I made and something that everyone can start implementing. And this is the first technical change on the books. Number 3 here is very interesting, guys, because for me, the biggest shift in my trading is when I started taking more trades as the candles were actually opposite. Now, let me break that down. I read a thread that was really interesting to me, that everybody in trading knows what they want to see. For example, if someone wants to see us come down and dip and tag a certain level and bounce, you know that you want to see that. So for example, I'm someone that loves using the moving averages. So if we want to use, for example, the 20 moving average on the 5-minute chart, what we want to see typically is to come down, tag it, bounce, and then we could take entry somewhere in this area around here. What this theory says is that if you already want to see something like this, where, for example, you're going to go long right there and the stop loss would be something under here, you're going to be risking around 20 points, give or take. That same rationale, what you're now going to be doing is taking that direct order rather than waiting for the reaction to already happen. If you were to set this up with just a simple 1-to-1 risk to reward, take entry here on the 5-minute buy setup, bouncing off of the 20 EMA and setting up a 20-point stop, 20-point take profit, this trade would have failed. But now, knowing that we're going to have to be risking 20, 25 points typically for these setups, simply what you're going to do is shift your entry point directly to where you think the reaction is going to happen and then set your stops accordingly. So in this example, we would take entry somewhere around this 21,837, and then we can simply still use that 20-point stop, which we already deemed would be somewhat of our risk. And now, as you can see, you're not only going to get that 1-to-1, you're going to capture that first initial impulse up, as you can see right here. So not only did we catch the impulse up, but now everything else is already gravy. The 1-to-1 R to R comes much sooner taking these type of entries. Granted, yes, they are going to have, in theory, less confirmation, but based on my system, these are the A+ high probability reactionary spots. So again, these areas, these spots, these setups, they may not lead to new trending days or new highs, but my job as a trader is to make money and catch areas where I deem are A+ and high probability. Because of that, I just want to take my piece of the pie and get out. The way futures works is very simple, guys. There are dozens and dozens of entries for 15, 12, 20, 25 points every single day. I don't need to capture these 50, 100, 150 point moves to be a profitable trader. So for example, if I were going in with 10 micros here or 2 minis, whatever the sizing may be, I could simply take a trim for about 1-to-1 risk to reward and then hold the runners. So in this case here, you would have almost got 2-to-1. And so once you start approaching that 1.5 or 1.75, you can maybe start shedding some off and moving the stop to break even. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into these type of setups, and I wish I could break them down in this video, but I can guarantee you if you start taking more setups like this, where you're taking entry long on a red candle, short on a green candle, and actually start taking entry maybe where your stop loss would be normally, you'll actually see that you become a little bit more profitable and stop getting stop hunted. I have 2 more topics to go, but if you guys like this video so far, please do me a favor, subscribe, drop a comment, giving me some feedback, and even like this video and save it for later. I really appreciate you guys, and I want to be putting out more content, so I want to make sure this video blows up. So number 4 actually is now talking a little bit more about my mental and my procedure going into how I'm actually taking these trades. So it really hit me about 10 days into the trading month that I was having this potential perfect month. Tradeify, you need 10 total trading days, regardless of red or green. And I noticed once I hit that day 10, I was green on all 10. And I realized shortly after that the law of averages says that I am going to have a red day nearby. But actually, what this made me do is be even more cautious, knowing that the law of averages is against me. Didn't necessarily feel any pressure, but instead it motivated me to continue to be very, very strict with my trading and look for those A++ setups. I also want to preface all this by saying, guys, by no means do you need to have 0 red days. This was just for me a really cool accomplishment that I noticed mid-month, and I wanted to try to see it out for the first time in my trading career. Also, guys, I do want to mention that all of the profit that you see here is doubled. So if I just go really quickly and toggle to my other account, as you can see right here, all of the profit is doubled. So really, so far, I'm up 36,000 in just 23 trading days this year. So now going back to my number one account, I didn't need to have these big home run days. My goal was to aim anywhere between $200 and $1,000, $1,500 a day or so. And for me, I had a very systematic approach on how to get there. For me, it was very simple. My first trade of the day was smaller size. Times, as you can see, actually maybe 3 or 4 times, I didn't take a second trade. I decided to be one and done because I just wanted to shut it down. But in the event that I did take another trade, what I would simply do is risk all or most of the profit from the first trade, size up the second one a little bit, and then go from there. So as you can see, I did have many days here, here with 2 trades, a lot of days with 3 trades, some with 4. And what that really was me getting close to my target and then taking just an additional tiny little micro scalp to get somewhere near the ballpark of where I wanted to be. If the second trade of the day was a fail, what I would then do is if I did take a third trade, I would size it down, drop it down to micros, and then work myself back up. So any of the days that you see that had 14 trades, 9 trades, 19 trades, these were not days where I was going up thousands, down thousands. Typically, these were days where I tried 2 or 3 trades, 2 or 3 scalps, ended up net green on all of them, and just tried to grind my way back. So maybe after trade 6 or 7, I was still green. I went for that kind of home run play and then dropped down. So I was still green on the day, but I did some profits. And then as you can see, guys, it gets to a point on these days where I was happy with the gains and I simply shut it down and said enough was enough. And I will say, guys, I really didn't have any added pressure to keep the streak alive until the 30th. I remember correctly, guys, on the 30th, I believe this was the day that I actually had 3 losing trades to start the day. And truthfully, guys, on a normal scenario, 3 strikes and you're out, I wouldn't be trading anymore. But because of this, I decided I wanted to crawl back. To make things even more interesting, guys, on the 30th, I was actually in Cancun on vacation. So what I simply decided to do, guys, at this point, I was down about $700. I was scalping a couple trades with micros, and after 3 or 4 more trades, I got back to just over green for the day. And honestly, guys, I could have shut it down there. I was up about $40, $50 on the day. Technically, it was still green, but I wanted to prove to myself that I could still have a solid winning day, not only to keep the streak alive, but on vacation. I could have taken the easy way out, but instead I decided to wait for my A+ opportunity. I hit my trade, and as you can see, I was up $1,000 per account on vacation. A lot of this comes with experience, but I can definitely say none of this would be possible if I didn't have a strong mental approach to the trading side. Obviously, a lot of this comes with experience, but I can confidently say that if I didn't have a strong mental fortitude going into the day and I planned my trades, none of this would be possible. Wrapping up the 4th thought, guys, I can't stress this enough. The mental aspect of trading is as important or even more important than the actual technicals themselves. It gets to a point where you really can't learn much more technical wise, and that the only thing you can improve every single day is the battle against yourself mentally. So here we go, guys, hopping into the 5th and final point here in this video that helped me be green every single day. Before I hop into it, again, if you're not already subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel. If you're not following me already on all socials, it's at Zach Austin Trades. So here we go, guys. Number 5, probably not what you think, but what helped me be profitable every single day is that I would say 95% of the days that I had and moving forward, I waited 30 minutes to take any trades. Now you may say, what does waiting 30 minutes do? What does that do? Well, for me, I am someone that really relies on the EMAs. After 30 minutes, the EMAs on regular trading hours and extended hours usually start to line up. Once those EMAs are in alignment, we usually get cleaner price action. On top of that, what waiting 30 minutes does for me is allows me to get 2 15-minute candles in the books. So as you guys can see right here, the first 15-minute bar of the day was pretty strong on the NASDAQ, and the next one actually flipped the trend to a 15-minute uptrend. For me, it then became very clear that once the hourly flipped, all the time frames were in alignment, and then we can look for our entry on the smaller time frames. Waiting 30 minutes allows us to see how the hourly is going to shape. It allows us to see two 15-minute candles, and it allows most likely the 5-minute 8 EMA to catch up to current price regardless of the situation or the gap. And more importantly than all of these things, guys, it allows us to have more data. I realized based on my stats that trades that came within 10 minutes of the opening bell hit at a 52% win rate, opposed to my near 75 to 80% win rate. By allowing more structure to play out, by allowing more candles to be present, it allows for easier trades and easier risk to reward without having to guess what will happen next. A lot of the students that I work with have similar issues where they get very antsy near the open and put themselves in a position to be behind the 8 ball right away with some trades they probably shouldn't be in. So I urge you moving forward to wait 30 minutes, maybe even wait an hour. You don't need to take trades near the open if you're patient and have a plan. The day of recording this is February 10th, and my first trade of the day came right here after the first 5-minute retest of the 8 EMA, which gave us an easy 15 to 20 points with practically zero drawdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's a mixture of some technical approaches and also some mental approaches, breaking down my entire perfect month and how I made $30,000 in 1 month. Really appreciate you guys taking the time out of this day and listen to my breakdown of the perfect month. If you're not already in the Discord, I'm going to put a link in the bio to join. And also, if you're not on the Tradeify platform, I'll put the link in there as well. Code StockDads. I'll put it on the screen one more time. Have a good rest of the day. Have a great trading week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.